Welcome, friends, to another edition of Whisky-ing. Richard here with a question. If you love Canadian whiskey and you love Canadian products, but you find a Canadian whiskey you just really are not loving, what do? You throw some more Canada in it, which is what I tried here. This is a weird one. So I'm originally from Manitoba. My parents retired to a cottage up around Lac du Bonnet, Pine Falls area. So a while back, we were touring around doing a little road trip, came in this really neat museum, and in the gift shop they were selling this Baltic Brothers Pine Falls Gin Infusion Blend Kit. It's got juniper berries, as you'd expect. It's got some cinnamon, got some citrus peel, some spices, and pine needles in it. If you've never tried those, they are surprisingly tasty, which I know sounds weird. The other thing I picked up was this 100% natural Canadian birch syrup, which is locally made. Birch syrup is nothing like maple syrup. It's got much more of a heavy molasses kind of vibe to it. Very rich, burnt sorts of flavors to it in a nice way. So when I got back home, had these two things, had this bottle of whiskey, I wasn't loving it. I'm like, what the heck? This is worth a try. So I steeped the gin mix in the whiskey for about 48 hours. Just added a touch of the birch syrup. Birch syrup's not sweet itself, but I didn't want to make this thing sweet, so just a touch to add some flavor. This is what came out of it. Yeah, that molasses, dark flavor. Get a little bit of that pine resin coming off the back of it. You can tell there's that cinnamon and orange peel, that orange zest sort of flavor to it. Actually, not a lot of the juniper berry. Maybe just a nice medicinal layer underneath. It's got a chocolatey vibe to it, a little bit of black licorice. And not overly sweet. What an interesting mix. I mean, maybe this wouldn't be for you. Maybe it would be. I think it's got lots of layers to it. The bottom line is it was really neat to just play around with whiskey, and maybe something you want to try out. Infusing whiskey is probably something I'm going to try again because it turns out pretty neat. And it's really neat to just combine a whole lot of flavors from a particular kind of area. Think of that shield forest and mix it in, see what comes out. Actually quite lovely. Try it out. We'll see you soon.